Joe Symes and the Loving Kind have been with Q108 Kingston since day one, even appearing on the old R&J's Classic Mix. Thanks to a dear friend, I was introduced to frontman Joe Symes and drummer Colin White, and of course, the music. When you listen to Joe Symes and the Loving Kind, you go back in time. Back when the tempo, the beat, and the lyrics combined with a nice flow. They were fun songs. You wanted to sing along right from the first word you heard. Think of the first British invasion back in the 60s, bands like Herman's Hermits, of the Dave Clark Five, the Byrds. Now, take their sound, combine it with a 90s rock feel and a heaping of originality, and you end up with what is the sound of Joe Symes and the Loving Kind. Hot on the heels of their self-titled album released in 2015, I was lucky enough to sit down with Joe and Colin and get their take on the album and what was in store. Well, proud to say the boys are back, preparing for the release of their new EP, Acoustic Variations, and an upcoming new album. Recently, I was once again lucky enough to catch up with them. You're with the Maestro on Q108 Kingston, and today I'm pleased to welcome back Joe Symes and the Loving Kind. Here today to talk about their very soon-to-be-released EP, Acoustic Variations, and their upcoming new album. With me today is Joe Symes and Colin White. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome back to Q108.
Thanks. Good to be here.
Now, before we begin, just to refresh our listeners, can you just give us a quick brief background on what you guys do in the band?
Well, I'm Colin. I'm the drummer and backing vocalist, and here with Joe, who's the frontman, singer-songwriter and guitarist of the band, and also we do have Andy, who's also on bass and backing vocals, but obviously he couldn't make it today. But so you stuck with us too.
Now, Andy's a new member of the band. He just joined you when?
End of October, I think. We've only actually done 2 gigs. We've done 1 gig, and that was, I suppose, a bit of a warm up, and we kind of like got a set together quite quickly. But then the official first gig, I'd say, was the last gig of the year. So basically, that was a great way to end the year. The turnout was amazing. It was just a very energetic gig. That was.
Well, that's good to hear. Now, how did you come across Andy?
Advertisements that I put up, and it came along quite quickly. Obviously, well, how can I put this? But basically, things didn't work out with who we had before, and basically, they had to be replaced.
Yes.
To be blunt about it, and I think in the space of about a week and a half, that replacement took place, and it was fairly quickly. It was fairly very smooth. I put the ad up, Andy replied to it, and then we just went from there, and it's worked out really good. It's actually worked out better. Well, better than I thought it would anyway. Again, it's just very quick, very smooth. We got the 8 songs together for the last gig of the year very quickly, and things couldn't have turned out better.
2 brand new tracks. Also were played in the gig. 2 brand new tracks as well. So really well received.
Well, good. Now, looking back, gentlemen, 2016 was a very productive year for the band. I mean, gig-wise, review-wise, and out there. So, can you tell us about some of the key highlights for you guys?
Playing all the festivals with big bands. Playing the Royal Court Theatre in Liverpool, which is probably one of the oldest theatres in the city centre, for the Hillsborough the Justice gig. To play that gig was like really brilliant, to be on that stage. Just a lot of great gigs. Being up in Peter Gable's studio, doing the second album. We've tracked 10 tracks up to now, and we should be back there next month in Oxford. Just a really brilliant year. You know, as I said, with the previous bass player we had, he didn't see the things that we wanted. He was basically more interested in himself, to be honest with you. He wasn't working as a team, and he had a major influence who was sort of prompting to do other things and all that. But, to be honest with you, I'm made up to see the back of him, to be honest with you. And I'm being really honest about it. And I'm upfront about it. I'm made up to see the back of him because he just turned out to be a nightmare. And he had everything, and he just, good riddance, to be honest with you. But it's worked out really well with Andy, because Andy's a better personality. He actually speaks to you, and you can have a conversation with him and a laugh.
Very, very important in the studio. On gigs, yes. Okay.
Instead of being with a band member that, basically it's like talking to an empty shoebox. So, worked out really well. And this year's got off to a great start up to now.
So, speaking of great starts, Friday, January 20th, you'll be releasing the 4-track EP Acoustic Variations. Now, can you tell us about the reason for making the EP and a bit about the songs?
We wanted to do an EP, and that's also got two tracks on it, 2 new tracks on it. We wanted to do it to show that, we're not just a rock band, that we can do acoustic. We can go play a big, massive venue, headline it, and then we can go and play an open mic night where we can get up and play. So we just wanted to show the variation and the levels that we can do the music at. Whereas a lot of people that we know and some we spoke to, they can't do acoustic gigs because they don't know how to. And some of them are I've seen actually live performance here, it doesn't sound good on an acoustic guitar. So always our objectives being if it can't be played on acoustic guitar, how are you going to play it then? Because that's all great songs we wrote on. Every Beatles song you can play on acoustic guitar, except Revolution 9. Mm-hmm. But that was the point of it, to say that we can do that. And 2, it came together really quick, and it was done pretty much live. And we've had 4 reviews for it up to now. The 4th one hasn't gone up yet, and the 3 that have gone up have been absolutely amazing feedback from them. So it's got up to a really, really good start. And we haven't even released it yet, and already the reviews are flying out, which you've probably seen yourself. So we're looking forward to it.
I've always liked when artists do that. One of my favorite bands growing up was obviously Kiss, and one of my favorite albums from theirs was their Unplugged album, where they just sat on, like you say, on chairs on the stage with acoustic guitars and did all their songs. And like I say, it was, still one of my favorite albums by them. Okay.
Yeah, it proves your versatility, I think, as well, because when Nirvana done their Unplugged, it was a bit of a whoa, they're doing Unplugged. It's if you can't do it Unplugged, then you can't do it. Unless you can get play your tunes on a pair of spoons. Got to do it acoustically. So that was the whole point of us doing it. And then we've got the album to follow as well. So
So where was it recorded and mastered at?
We recorded it at a friend's studio in Liverpool, who's a producer, who goes by the name of Horrorhead. Pete Meyer mastered the tracks. Pete Meyer's just done the Pixies album. He's worked with U2 recently, R.E.M. He mastered all the tracks for us for free, which is a good one for that, doing that, he's a major player in mastering. So that was done by that. So it's come together really quick. We'll actually have physical copies of the CD next week, all ready to go from the website.
Now, is this something that you'd like to continue in the future, as far as maybe releasing more?
Well, we got the album. The album will be the next release.
Yeah.
After that, I think we'll probably. We've kind of got a couple of plans to maybe release but I'd say before we do a 3rd album, there might be another EP or 2 or another standalone single or 2, just the things get better. I'm going to find out someday. AA size. We've got a few more of them there as well, and they're going to be a few more catchy rockers. But in the meantime, we're just going to do one thing at a time. Obviously, the EP's coming out, and then the main focus after that is the next album, which we know what's going on with that. We know what's going to be on it pretty much. Yeah. We made the start, and I'm just looking forward to getting the EP out and sort of keep getting that sort of promoted while we get busy with the album. Really, that's our main objective. But apart from that, it's just going to be sort of more gigs, festivals, and just more productivity. I mean, this week alone, It was our first week back rehearsing since before Christmas, because obviously, you do your last gig of the year, Christmas comes up, and then you're pretty much done. That's basically like your holiday. That's basically your sort of time off to sort of go, well, we've had a good year, now it's time to just unwind, relax, and then just plan out the next year. So, we've been kind of off for about, like, say, 2 or 3 weeks, which isn't long, really, when you think about it, but to us it is, because we're constantly doing things all the time. But we got back in twice this week, and it was almost too easy. It was almost as if we'd only rehearsed about 2 or 3 days before or something like that. We went in there, and it was just quickly, you're back in that zone again, really. And basically, it was that good that I think on the first rehearsal, which was on Tuesday, we finished about 45 minutes before we were meant to finish. And then on Thursday, we finished about half an hour earlier, because we thought, well, we went through like the set that we'd done at the last gig twice, tweaked a couple of things, and then we're like, well, that's it for now. That everything's sounding good. That we don't need to do anything else. So we just, quit while we were ahead, and finished early and went home very, very satisfied with ourselves. So I was pleased about that. And obviously we're going to go in next week and get a few more new things into the set for the new year, and just go from there, really.
Now, what can listeners expect on the new album? I mean, have you changed direction at all? Or, is it going to be like you say, okay, there's Joe Symes and the Loving Kind. That's the sound I heard. Have you changed anything up?
Well, the first album was like a resume of what we could do. It was like all the different types of like variations that we could do with different styles of songs. The second album is basically going to be mainly focused on just basically catchy rock pop songs.
Totally different from the first album. Totally different. Still catchy sing-along songs, but you're not going to be hearing any trombones on this one. I'll tell you that now. It's just out and out rock pop, dead catchy pop songs, but they're really heavy. Really heavy.
Nice. Okay. So, Colin, you kind of had to, I guess, change your style a bit, a little faster in the drums there.
Not really. No, not really. No, I just do what I do, and I always take pride in the fact that, and this goes for all of us, that we're not one-trick ponies. I mean, obviously on the first album, there was times when I was rocking out. There was times when I was just sort of kicking back, playing just, some nice chilled out brushes. But on this one, I just do what I do. I haven't had to, I can play very heavy rock stuff, and then I can go the total opposite direction and play really mellow stuff, and I take a lot of pride in that.
This album, he's got the heaviest drumsticks in the world. It's like two mop poles that he's using.
Yeah.
Now, is it all brand new material that you've written for this album, or is there songs that you've had put away in the vault?
I'd say we've tracked 10 songs. 9 of them are new songs. 1 of them we kept back. I've kept a lot of songs back.
Not for a bad reason.
Not for bad, just kept them back, But this one is like, you just have to wait until you hear it. Yeah. But when you do it, you'll probably have it on repeat all the time, because it's so catchy and so melodic, and it's just everything about it. It's, we're playing the songs from the album in the gigs. The last gig we played, I couldn't hear for 2 days afterwards. My ears were gone because we were that loud. But I don't wear earplugs, so that's probably a problem as well.
Probably should.
But it was really, the last gig, it was really loud. I could not hear for 2 days. I couldn't hardly sleep because we were that loud on stage. But this is out and out rock songs, pop, the poppy cat, really sing along. Absolute sing-along, yeah.
Excellent. That's the way the trend seems to be going nowadays. Especially with the indie music that I'm, getting from around the world. I kind of like how the music's kind of going back in time a bit, where, like, say, music was fun, was catchy, sing-along. Let's groove to it and stuff like that. And so, with the EP coming out and the album soon, so is there any other big things you had planned in 2017?
Yeah, well, obviously, the festivals are starting to come up now, obviously, because obviously the arrangements, well, the organisation of festivals in the summer always begins around now, kind of like sort of like the middle of the winter. So obviously everything's sort of finalised for say June, July, August when they start. So we've been getting like the applications out for them, and obviously they're coming back with like confirmations and stuff. But we've actually confirmed 3 TV spots locally here, and obviously because it's from a local channel, everyone will get to see that because they'll go on YouTube. So obviously when they go out, we'll be like reposting it on our Facebook and Twitter pages, so everyone from all around the world can see it.
2 of the performances are at Lipper, Paul McCartney's school. So that's 2 of them out of the 3.
And apart from that, we just confirmed we confirmed a big gig in a theatre in Brecon in South Wales. It's a huge, really nice theatre. That'll be in April. We've also confirmed a gig supporting the Christians in April too. That's in another very nice theatre. And we're just basically getting the rest of the gigs coming through. We got a hell of a lot more radio sessions locally and internationally as well to promote the EP. Obviously, like what we're doing now, there's more of them coming up, and just more gigs are just coming through, just confirmations.
That's good, and more exciting as well. A friend of mine who runs Radio Candy Show out of Los Angeles, I see, has picked up some of your songs and has been playing them. Have you been finding the reaction over in North America favorable?
Yeah, it's been great. I think you were on about is it Mark? Mark's been playing a lot of our songs, hasn't he? Yeah, he plays us again on his show. I think yesterday, and obviously we're always tagged in the post, so he's always letting us know when he's playing us. And he's played us a hell of a lot recently, which is great. So obviously, he's liking what we're doing, and obviously we'll send him more tracks off the new EP, and yourself included. After its release, we'll send you the 2 brand new tracks which are exclusive to the EP.
We'll send you a copy of the EP through the post.
Yeah, and
yes,
that too.
Yes. That'll go into my display. That'll go into my little wall of fame display there. Any plans of touring outside the UK? Like, is there any of that on the horizon?
It's funding. If people want to fund us, we'll come over. But at the moment, with the band stuff and this band schedule and recording, all that money's tight at the moment. Yeah. If anyone wants to fund us to come over, we'll gladly go over. No problem.
Well, listen, gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for taking the time out of your hectic schedules, and I'm really, really excited about the EP and the new album coming out, and looking forward to bigger things from Joe Symes and Love and Kind in 2017. Yeah,
but it's going to be another productive year, and again, before we know it, it'll be the end of the year again, and I'll have to look forward to another productive year next year again. So, because things always happen very quickly for us. So, I'm just obviously it's still January now. I'm just looking forward to really getting it all kick-started again.
Yeah. Well, Q108 Kingston is very, very proud and honored to have you guys playing on our station. And like I said, the reviews I get here are very favorable, and I'm sure with this new album coming out, they're going to get even better.
Thanks, man. Looking forward to it.
Brilliant.
Dancing around, my head is spinning. Is this the end or just the beginning? Well, I'm gonna find out someday. Down in my soul, my heart is yearning. I've made mistakes, am I still learning? Well, I'm gonna find out someday. Chasing my hopes and my dreams, so far away they seem. If I can pretend, will I be a better person? She's dragging me down, I feel I'm sinking. I'm head over heels, what am I thinking? Well, I'm gonna find out someday. Oh, oh, oh. hopes and my dreams. So far away she seems. If I pretend, will I be a better person? Clocks spin around, my head is swimming. I'm lost for words, yes she's winning, but I'm gonna find out someday. Yeah, I'm gonna find out someday. Friends for today are your enemies of tomorrow.